Good afternoon to all of you. Is my voice audible? आवाज येतोय का? Yes. Okay. Tushar Bhargave is saying yes, sir. Okay. Let's wait for a few minutes because only 14 or 15 students have joined only. So there are, I think, 73 or 74 students in class. Okay. And so much less attendance. So we'll wait for them for a few minutes and after that we will start our lecture. Let me share with you a screen. Please tell me if is it visible or not. Yes. Is it visible? दिसते का हे सगळ्यांना? Is it visible? दिसते? No one is answering. I think no one is present by mind. They are only present by their body. Okay, so shall we start then? Shall we start our lecture? 28 students have joined for this meeting. So let me know first that is it visible? Is the screen visible to you, all of you? Is
Yes,
the
sir.
screen? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please answer to me so that I will proceed further. Okay. So during last two lectures, we were discussing about the importance of English language and necessity of this language. Okay. So in the first lecture, we discussed about what is a language, okay, and why is it necessary. So language is a medium of communication, okay. Language is a medium of communication which we use for the communication purpose, to send our messages, to receive messages from someone. That we do with the help of this language. And we human beings only have this ability to create or to form a language. To speak a language is only the unique characteristics that we people have. And animals, okay, animals can't create such language, or such a they can't speak because they don't have ability. Okay, so we human are only able to speak with the help of language. We form language, we form words, okay, we form grammar related to that language. So that's the main point, and that's the only ability that we people have, and that makes different to us uh, from the animals. Okay, so that we have discussed in the first lecture. And so we also have discussed about the why is it necessary and why do we learn English language. So as English was brought up by Britishers, okay, they brought it for the purpose of administration. Okay, they uh, s- started teaching us, or they started involving this subject or syllabus of this subject in our Indian colleges or Indian schools. Okay, from mid 18th century, I think mid 19th century. Okay, so they, there from then only they took historical efforts to uh, implement this language in the Indian continent. Okay, and syllabus related to Indian universities, Indian colleges, Indian schools. Okay, so they took historical efforts and they spread their language all over the world. Now uh, we can say that it's the most spoken language. Okay, it's the most spoken language, and we may call it as an international language. Okay, so that's why these are the reasons. And also they brought this language to the countries on which they were ruling. Okay, so they were ruling on India, they were ruling on Australia, they were ruling on African continent, Asian continent, then the American continent also. They invaded uh, during the 17th or 18th century. Okay, I don't know exact history of that, but that's why we learn this language, and they have gifted this language to us. And currently, in the current situation, it is the most spoken language, it is the most global language that we have. And it's not only the language which are uh, it's not only the language of countries which were actively touched with the British Empire, but uh, also the countries, there are many countries on which Britishers were not the rulers. They are also involving this language, they are also making this language as a language of syllabus or curriculum. Okay, so these are the reasons that that's why we are learning this language. Then another reason that's why we learn it is the it's the language of Hollywood. So we know that, and we are very we are fond of the Hollywood movies. Okay, so all of us know that when there are many Hollywood movies, and we uh, like that movies, we like to watch the Hollywood movies because of their technical expertise. Okay, they are technically very good, uh, very better than us. Okay, uh, they have different technologies. Okay, they have different instruments regarding modern view. Okay, so that's why we like these Hollywood movies. They have suspense movies, they have thriller movies. Okay, so there are also movies which are related to the uh, uh, superficial things. Okay, superficial things, they are also related to the superficial things. So that's why these are the movies which are very technically good than us. So for watching Hollywood movies, it's also necessary to learn this language. Okay, so we all know the basics of this English language, and that's why we can watch these Hollywood movies with ease. But some of us uh, even have the difficulties regarding the language, and for them I will say that they have to use the subtitles while watching the videos or while watching the movies uh, of Hollywood. Okay, by watching the Hollywood movies and the subtitles below that, they will understand what that person is speaking. Okay, or what he wants to convey. Okay, so that's why it is important. Then it's also the language of banking and business. So all of us know that international banking and international business, international trade, these type of activities happens, okay, on the international level, and they use this language for that purpose. So that's why we learn this language. Then next, globalization. Speaking of globalization, there are many things which are related to the globalization, and that's why it covers, okay, globalization covers all aspects of life. And without globalization, means we can't stand. Okay, we can't run this race uh, of world. Okay, because globalization has covered all aspects of this life. So we are utilizing the term globalization. We are taking benefits of this term globalization. How we are taking benefits? That's because of the social media sites or social media apps we are using to reach. Okay, we are using to reach from one corner of this world to another corner of the world. Okay, so that made possible, okay, that becomes possible because of this globalization. Okay, so that social media sites like Facebook, social media apps like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, these are the fruits of the globalization. I'm conducting this lecture from college and you are listening it from your homes. Okay, so I'm sitting here and you are there uh, in the another corner of this uh, city. Okay, so there is too much gap between us. We are not in the class, we are not attending physically. Okay, but we are attending it online, and this is also the benefits or advantage of globalization that we are taking. Okay, this happens because of international or internet revolution. Okay, network revolution that takes place, IT revolution, okay, information technology revolution that takes place in the last decade of the 20th century. Okay, So these are the fruits that we are having of that IT revolution. Okay, so this happens because of the globalization. The next is, without proper communication, it is not possible to be in a connection. So can we communicate with each other without proper communication? No, there must be any type of connection between both of us. Okay, so I'm using this internet for the connection purpose. Okay, and we are communicating to each other with the help of these apps. Okay, Zoom app, or maybe it be Google Meet app. Okay, so through these apps we are connecting with each other. Okay, we got connected with each other and we are taking its benefit. So is it possible without any connection? No, we are having connection. I'm having Wi-Fi at this college. You are having your Wi-Fi at your home, or you are using uh, uh, data of your any card. Okay, your SIM card. Okay, and that's why we are in a touch, or we are in a connection with each other, and this happens and this becomes possible uh, because of the globalization. Therefore, it is important to know how English language will unite people. It's universally accepted language. So English language is called as the universally accepted language. Why is it so? Because in the universe itself, there are many countries, and that countries, each and almost all of the countries, have adopted this language, have included this language as their first or second language. Okay, in America, in New Zealand, in Australia, uh, in Canada. Okay, then in England, Ireland, okay, Wales. Uh, this language is accepted as the first language by these countries. And countries like India, okay, countries like India, Pakistan, Asian continent, okay, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, then uh, countries other than these, South African countries or African continent, okay, African countries have adopted this or accepted this as a second language or uh, official language. Okay, not first language. First language is the mother tongue, and second language is the official language. Okay, so this is the difference between two of these. Then we discussed about the reasons to learn English. So I have discussed about it. It is essential for work. So if you want to do jobs in international companies, in multinational companies, MNCs, or in the IT companies, information technology companies, so it becomes very necessary to have the command on this language. This language is not as much easy and not that much difficult also. Okay, so if you try to speak for minimum 5 minutes uh, on daily basis also, you will feel better, and you will feel that I am getting this language, I can speak this language, I can use it for communication. So that's why it is essential for work. In offices also, this is used as official language. Okay, so that's why it is the essential for work. Then it is universal language. As I have told you that it is universally accepted language. It is spoken all over the world. At each and every corner of the world, we can see that, or we can find that there are many English speaking people. We can find them. Okay, so that's why it is universal language. It will open the doors of the new cultures. So So there are many cultures we can find all over the world, and for their study, okay, for their study we need to learn this language. This is the common language by which we can reach to the roots of that any type of cultures or roots of any type of research. Okay, we can reach to that roots, okay, with the help of this language. Then for traveling purpose also, if you are traveling to from India to, you are traveling to uh, foreign countries, okay, like if you are traveling between European continent, okay, European countries, if you are traveling, if you are traveling to the European countries, if you are traveling to the American countries, then you can find that it is uh, there people are speaking this language, and if you are not speaking with them by using this language, then you can't communicate properly with them. Okay, so for proper communication during the travel, you will find that it becomes comfortable only with this language. The next is, it is the most open language, so there are many words which are added in this language from different languages that are present all over the world. So from Hindi itself, they have added roti word. Okay, so the next reason to learn this language is the it is the language of art and literature. So you can find that many arts, many of the artists are making their art. Okay, they are uh, mm, means they are uh, using this language. Okay, they are using this language for the publicity purpose of their art. Okay, so many of the arts are there, means sculpture is also the art, dance is also the art, singing is also the art. Okay, so for reaching to the mass of the people from all over the country or all over the world, you will have to use any common language that is spoken by millions of people, okay, or that is known to the all countries at any level of the country. If that language is known, then you will reach to the people. Okay, so English is the most common language, that's why we are using it for the uh, art purpose or literature, writing literature. So written literature also we can find in English language. So there are many literary figures in India. From India also you can you are well known with the uh, most eminent personality in literature of India is Dr. Mr. Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, so Rabindranath Tagore is also the world-known personality. And why it became a world-known? Because they uh, use this language. Okay, they wrote their literature. Okay, they wrote their literature. They wrote their poetry, dramas, fictions. Okay, short stories. They wrote their literature in this language by use they use English language for writing literature. Okay, so that's why it becomes the important language. And the last is, it eliminates language weaknesses. So all of us have some language weaknesses. We can't even speak at fluency. Okay, we are not that much fluent English speakers. Only native speakers can speak that much fluent English. But as we have this language as a second language, it's not our mother tongue or it's not our first language. That's why we have some difficulties. We can find some difficulties uh, to use good accent in this language. So that's why it eliminates the language weaknesses. Then next is the importance and need of English language. So we have also discussed in the last lecture. Uh, so uh, it's important language. Okay, so in all over the world, people know the importance of this language, and they use this language as uh, official language or second language or first language for the purpose to get educated. Okay, so this is the importance. Then speaking internationally, it would be really difficult to prosper in this world without this language. So without this language, it is very difficult to be in the race of this world. Okay, so world is running fast, and if we don't know this language or we are unaware of this language, then it becomes very difficult to reach in this race. Okay, it's very difficult to run in this race, and for uh, to be a participant in this race, we must have to learn this language. We must have to speak this language among ourselves. Okay, so you can practice this language with your parents, with your mother, father, your brother, your colleagues, your friends. Okay, or your juniors also. You can speak with them with the help of this language, and you will come to know that you are doing better and better each and every day. So another reason or another importance of this language is when it comes to globalization, the first language that comes in mind is English. So speaking about globalization, if we think about the globalization, only English language can make it possible to reach at each and every person. Okay, we can't use our mother tongue also. Okay, but English can reach to the each and every person in this world who is literate. Okay, who is literate person. He must be literate person, and he must know little about the English language. Then another important point is for creating ethically responsible, equitable, and tolerant, English language plays a key role. So, as we people, uh, as we people are ethically good people, okay, ethically good people we are. So, for becoming ethically responsible, equitable, and tolerant person, it must be with the help of this language we will become. Okay, so that's the importance of this language. So another is you can get information from each field. So for getting information from each and every field, okay, may it be sports field, may it be current affairs field, okay, may it be history field, may it be geography field, okay, may it be medical field or may it be engineering field, for getting the upgraded information. Okay, for getting the upgraded information, can we get it from any other language? We can't get it. Okay, because we have our syllabus, we have our curriculum in this language. Okay, so for engineering or for medical courses, if we are using our mother tongue, then can it be possible or can it be uh, can we get that much information, or can we do the translation of each and every word in our mother tongue of any English word? Okay, we can't translate as it is. Okay, translations have limitations. So better to learn any type of technology or any type of engineering courses in English language rather than our mother tongue. Okay, we can understand in our mother tongue, but we can't apply it, okay, on an international level. That's the very important point. So that's why these are the importance and need of the English language that we feel. Okay, so let's see the next point, that is English is the international common tongue. So as you know that English is called as the international common tongue. Why it is so? Because uh, this language, English language, is spoken as uh, common tongue. Okay, this is the language which is used as a common tongue or communication language in many countries. Okay, you can find it. So there are several factors that make this language essential for the communication in our time. The first of all, it is most common foreign language. So no any other language is as much common as this language. Okay, there are many languages which are famous languages like French. Okay, then Spanish, uh, then Italian. Uh, so these are the international languages, famous languages, but English is the most common term. Okay, it is the most uh, language. It is the language which is spoken by most of the people. Okay, so if there are two people who come from different countries, okay, like for example a Mexican or a Sweden, so which language they will use for communication purpose? If they are speaking in a Mexican and Sweden, can they communicate with each other? They can't communicate with each other. Okay, so that's why this language makes the common tongue. Okay, and it is also called as the communication language. So this is also called lingua franca or connection language. So, this is also called as lingua franca. Lingua franca means what? Connection language. Okay, so the next point is, that's why everyone needs to learn the language in order to interact at international level. So for communicating at an international level, it is also become possible with the help of this language. Speaking it will help you to communicate with the people from countries all over the world. So if you are using this language for speaking purpose, then you will get communicate. Okay, you will get communication with people from all over the world. Okay, so this is also called as international language. Then language of education. So speaking about this slide, English is also essential to the field of education. So all of us, we have uh, taken our education. Okay, we have completed our education from first standard itself to the 12th. Okay, uh, as an English as a language of medium. Okay, so this language, English language, has included in our syllabus from first standard itself. Okay, or before that also KG. From KG itself we are learning this language. Okay, so that's why it is the essential language, and it is the essential to the field of education. In many countries, children are taught and encouraged to learn English as a second language. So as we Indian, okay, we Indian also are learning this language as a second language. We are the second language learners. And America, Britain, New Zealand, Australia, these are the countries where it is taught as a first language. Okay, so it is taught in India as a second language. Then next is almost 90% of educational subjects are written in English. So all of you know that your books are also written in this language. Okay, so your books have English as a language of medium. Okay, so English medium, from English medium you are learning these subjects, engineering subjects. So it's about your field, but what about medical field? In the medical field also, in pharmaceutical field also, in the master of business administration field also, in the art field, in the science field, in the commerce field, this language is the most used language. Okay, so that's why this is the most dominant language. Then see the last point in this slide. At the university level, students in many countries study almost all their subjects in English as a medium in order to make the material more accessible to international students. So for accessing the material at an international level, okay, so you are accessing study material from your library, okay, and you can find that they have their this material in the English medium. Okay, you are not using your language for writing purpose. Okay, you are writing your answers in engineering subjects also by using this language. Okay, you can't write it in your mother tongue. So that's why this language is the most important. And at the university level also, students in many countries study almost all their subjects in English as a medium in order to make the material more accessible. So in order to make the more material accessible, in order to get the more material, more resources on the internet, we are using English medium to access this information, to study this information, to get this information. So that's why it is also called as the language of education. The next point, see, the next point is travel and business. So most of the traveling and business uh, uh, field, okay, traveling field and travel field and business field, they are using this language. Okay, on the international level. If you want to travel to the international level, or if you want to travel to the foreign countries, okay, if you want to travel to the foreign countries, European countries, American countries, if you want to travel to the Australia, New Zealand, if you want to travel to the uh, China or uh, uh, Japan, okay, so how it becomes possible and how it becomes easy? With the help of this language. Okay, if you are not using this language and if you are speaking in your own language, can that person who is going to give you visa, okay, visa or passport, if you are not using this language, he won't allow you to enter to their country. Okay, or he won't allow you to the from this country to uh, to travel to the another country. Okay, so from for getting visa also, you'll have to perform different activities. Okay, regarding interview, there must be an interview. You have to face that interview, you have to answer to their questions. Okay, so that much become possible with the help of this language. Next point, let's see. English skills will also help you in any business venture you choose to follow. So if you want to grow your business, if you want to start your business, and if you want to uh, grow it on the international level, how you will grow it, or how it becomes possible to grow? It will become possible only when you are advertising it in the international language. Okay, if you are advertising your business by using your local language, it will be limited to the your local, okay, local area. If you want to grow outside your local area, you will have to use this language, English language. That's the difference. Okay, so because of it, because it is the international language for foreigners, English skills will also help you in any business venture. That's also discussed. Any big company will hire their professional staff after getting to know whether the people they are hiring are good at English or not. So see this point, okay? Any big company, let it be your IT company, let it be MNC, or let it be industry, okay? Or what we can say, hardware company, okay? It will hire you only if you can communicate with them, or you are able to speak with the help of this language, English language. Okay, so any professional company will hire their staff after getting to know that whether uh, the person they are hiring is good at English or not. They will check it first. Okay, so to be a part of these companies, multinational companies like TCS, Wipro, okay, TCS, Wipro, Cognizant, or other companies. There are many companies where there are many IT companies. So to be a part of these companies, it becomes necessary to learn this language, to learn to speak this language. Then only they will hire you. They will give you a handsome salary. Okay, they will give you good salary only after you are able to speak this language. And then see the next point. Companies who want to function at an international level only consider their staff well educated if they are good English speakers, writers, and readers. So if you are abilities, okay, you are having abilities of speaking English, writing with correct grammar, okay, reading with good intonation. If you are able to do this, or you are if you are able to do these activities, then it becomes very easy for you to be a part of these international level companies. So that's the difference between we people and other people. Okay, so this is about the travel and business. See the next point. Resources make learning English easy. So how learning becomes easy in English? How it becomes possible to learn this language easily? It becomes possible to learn this language because on the network or on the internet, we can find millions of resources that are popping each and every moment. Okay, so there are many resources, millions of resources, crores of resources we can find on the internet regarding the uh, learning this language. So see the point, first point. Although many people think that it is very difficult and confusing, English is actually the easiest language of the world to learn because there are so many resources available. So we are learning this language from KG itself, and we are learning it by using grammar books. Okay, so from the KG itself, from the fourth standard itself, we are learning this language with the help of resources like grammar books. Okay, grammar books or story books or comics. Okay, so these are the materials we are using for learning this language. So the resources are there for learning this language. Uh, no other language we can find that there are too many resources for learning. Okay. The next is as soon as you decide you want to learn, there are thousands of resources on the internet and in bookstores. So if you went to the internet, or if you went to the local bookstore in your area, and if you ask a book regarding the grammar, okay, so he will show you a thousand means he will show you handful of books, okay, regarding this grammar. Okay, so there are many grammar books to follow. Okay, you can follow any of them, but it is different from person to person. Okay, so because level of person to person regarding the learning, okay, learning level is different from person to person. It varies from person to person. So that's we can find that there are millions of resources regarding this language. And next is you can supplement traditional learning materials with children's TV shows and books. So for supplementary purpose, okay, for uh, learning more easily, you will have to supplement your preparation with the help of children's TV shows like Cartoon Networks or books. Okay, books like comic books. Okay, you can use them because they have easy language. Okay, to acquire. Okay, to learn that language becomes possible because it is easy language. And that's why children's TV shows and books must be read and uh, seen for uh, learning this language. So I will suggest you will see you have to watch TV shows or TV movies, okay, or Hollywood movies with the English subtitles. Okay, so watch the Hollywood movies, watch the videos regarding English language by using English subtitles, and you will pick up the conversation on English in no time. Means it will become possible easily to pick up the conversation. Then see the next slide, internet and press. So I have told you that on we can see that it is also the language of internet. So many resources we can find on internet regarding this language easily. And it is also the language of press, means it is also the language of newspaper. So there are many newspapers like Times of India, Sunday Times, or Economic Times, Economic Express. Okay, the uh, Hindu, okay, Hindustan Times. These are the newspapers. They are written in this language. Okay, so that's why it is the important language we must know. Due to these reasons, English is important. Okay, so that these are the reasons that makes this language important. Then let's do the summary of this chapter. Let's have a quick recap of this chapter. Okay, so English is a language of business. Why it is language of business? Because it is the language of international trade. Okay, so trade happens with the help of this language. For trading purpose on the international level, this is the most usable language. This is the most durable language. Then education, we are taking education. Okay, we are learning our subjects, different subjects by using this language. Okay, so this is the language of education. Then knowledge and learning. For learning purpose, for taking knowledge, we are using this. Then traveling, for traveling also we are using. Job opportunities. Okay, so you will find job opportunities in IT companies or in hardware companies. Okay, only after you will get to know that you are a good English speaker. Okay, they will hire you only if you can be able to speak this language. You can be able to use this language for writing purpose. Okay, for reading purpose. That's why it is the important language. It is also called as the window to the world. So window to the world means what? Through this window we are watching whole world. Okay, so this is also called as window to the world. Internet and press. So it is language of internet and press. Science and engineering. We are learning these subjects in English language. Okay. Then globalization. Globalization is the result of this language. Okay. It becomes possible with the help of this language that we come close to each other. We can sit in front of each other and can speak to each other. So this is about the first chapter. We have completed our first chapter, that is what is language and importance of language. So we will start our next chapter, that is parts of speech, from the next lecture. Before that, I have to take your attendance. I will mark your attendance roll number wise. There are 74 students in your class, huh? Okay. Let me mark your roll numbers, and after that you will leave this meeting. But before, I have to mark these roll numbers. So I have marked your attendance. Roll number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 36, 37, 40, 41, 42, 46, 48, 49, 52, 55, 57, 58, 64, 68, 69, 71, 73, 74. So all of these numbers that I have called are present for this lecture. Remaining, they are absent. Okay. So I have marked your roll numbers. So it's almost 2 o'clock. You can leave this meeting now. Thank you for joining this meeting. Thank you for joining this lecture. You can join to your next lecture. Before that, you will leave this meeting and you can join to your next lecture. Okay. Thank you. So I'm ending this meeting from my side.